We need Nigeria to lead the football movement in the world.
Nigeria seeks greater presence and investments from World Soccer Governing Body.
Collection of VAT falls within the powers of the state.
Southern governors stick to their guns on fiscal federalism, VAT collection and anti-open grazing law.
I count on you, Excellencies, to help proffer durable solutions to the crisis.
Nigeria and sister West African states intensify pressure on Ghanaian military junta.
SEMA is on ground. We are putting up the required bills for the medical attention.
Plus, Yobe state government confirms 9 dead as investigations open into accidental airstrikes on Buhari village in Yobe. This is NTA Network News. We're live in Abuja. I'm Ienre John. Hinkino John Adams will be joining us from Lagos. Welcome. The governor of Zamfara State, Bello Muhammad Matawali, has expressed formal appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for approving the ongoing military operations and other critical measures aimed at putting an end to banditry, kidnapping, and other acts of criminality in his state. Speaking to newsmen after meeting the president behind closed doors, the governor confirmed that significant achievements have already been recorded in the battle against crime and criminality.
Personnel that were deployed to Zamfara State, and they are working seriously in order to curtail the problem of this insurgency, and we thank God is yielding a lot of results. We recorded a lot of successes. People have been killed every day before and been kidnapped, but today, alhamdulillah, we have succeeded. We don't have much issue in Zamfara State.
Why have you ruled out the possibility of dialogue with them?
Because they have deceived us. We thought it's something that we can continue, but later they will understand that they have deceived us, so I have to back out from that, and we have to fight them to the logical conclusion.
And on politics, former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode has defected to the governing APC from the People's Democratic Party. President Muhammadu Buhari has also formally welcomed the former minister to the APC. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Hitherto regarded as the foremost critic of the president and indeed the governing APC, Chief Femi Fani-Kayode was received by the Nigerian leader behind closed doors. He was accompanied to the State House by the chairman, caretaker, and extraordinary convention planning committee of the APC, Governor Mai Mala Buni of Yobe State and his Zamfara State counterpart, Bello Muhammad Matawali. After the engagement with the president that lasted about 30 minutes, the chairman, APC caretaker committee, and Yobe State Governor Mai Mala Buni spoke to newsmen.
We are here to present our newest member of the party to Mr. President and leader of the party, Chief Femi Fani-Kayode, in appreciation and understanding of Mr. President's vision and magnanimity.
How did the president receive him?
No, he received him very well. And, Mr. President is a magnanimous leader who shares his vision with anybody who is looking towards greater Nigeria. So he's happy and he received him very well. He commended his courage.
Why APC, sir?
But why not? The point is that I felt that this was the appropriate time to do the right thing, to put Nigeria first, and to appreciate the efforts that have been made, particularly in the last couple of years, in terms of security, fighting insurgency, fighting terrorism, and most importantly is the appreciation of the fact that we must remain one as a nation, build bridges, work together to move the country forward. It's very, very important for us to appreciate the fact that when we see that there are good things that are happening, we appreciate those good things. It's not always negative. And when the time is right, we change direction to join forces and join hands to move the country forward. And doing this doesn't mean we're enemies to anybody. And those that want us to end up fighting one another in a war will be put to shame. And there are people that think like that, and that is what informed me to come here to meet Mr. President. He was very gracious. He was very good to me today, spoke so well, and it's an honor for me to be here, and we will move the country forward together.
What will you be telling those that will criticize you for criticizing APC in the past and now you're in the party?
I'll say that the only thing in life, the only constant thing in life is change. You know, you can't hold me to what I've said in the past if circumstances change, and I will always bow to superior argument and logic. For me, the primary cause today, and let me say this, there's no way I will renege on my fundamental core values and principles. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. I believe in certain things, how the country should be moved forward. I will fight for that from within this party to ensure it's done. I believe in fairness and in equity. But the most important thing for us today is this: we must not allow our country to fall apart based on disagreement and misunderstanding amongst one another.
I am part of all the process, and I thank God for his courage. Very reputable person and a man of his word. He promised that he's going to come together with me. But due to some circumstances, when I come in Zamfara, he intends to do his own here in Abuja, which today we are here, and he has fulfilled his promise.
Chief Femi Fani-Kayode, who said he was instrumental to the defection of some PDP governors to the APC, gave a hint that many others are on their way into the governing party. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And away from politics now, President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong representation to the Federation of International Football Association, FIFA, to see Nigeria as one of its greatest assets in the development of football. The president said FIFA should also consider Nigeria topmost in its plans for support and investment. This was while receiving the president of the World Football Governing Body, Gianni Infantino, on a courtesy visit to the presidential villa. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
Accompanied to the State House by CAF President Patrice Motsepe, President Nigeria Football Federation Amaju Pinnick, and Sports Minister Sunday Dare, the FIFA President Gianni Infantino presented a branded football case, FIFA banner, and jersey number 10 to President Muhammadu Buhari. This is in appreciation of his genuine commitment to the development of sports, especially football in Nigeria.
President, humbly, I thank you for everything you are doing for football in this beautiful country. We need Nigeria to lead the football movement in the world. We are now debating in world football how we can increase the participation and the frequency of world competitions to have Nigeria, both the Super Falcons and the Super Eagles, playing at the highest stage against the best teams more frequently, because only if you play against the best, you can show them that you are better.
When Nigeria wins, when the Super Eagles wins, they don't only give pride to the hundreds of millions of people in Nigeria. They represent the more than 1.3 billion people on the African continent. They've made us proud, and they have the potential to win the World Cup.
President Muhammadu Buhari described football as a major tool of national unity, saying the hearts of Nigerians beat as one anytime the national teams are playing a football match.
As a government, we have also shown a great deal of commitment to the game, not only by funding, hosting, and participating in international competition, but in creation of a conducive environment for its growth and development. Nigeria has also keyed into the global norm of football as a major business. Our recent reclassification of sports as business instead of just recreation opens up a new vista for more private investment.
He said apart from adopting football as a national asset, his administration has also approved the unveiling of a committee to draw up a 10-year football development master plan aimed at improving the fortunes of the game internationally.
The government is equally focused on using football to the development of the girl child. The Aisha Buhari International Football Tournament, which just started, could not have come at a better time. This women's football competition is a novel idea here and ensure exciting in its execution for our women folk and lovers of football.
We thank FIFA for approving this competition as a ranking competition and believe it will go a long way to help in developing the women football, not just in Nigeria and Africa, but in the entire world.
The Aisha Buhari International Invitational Football Tournament, for which the FIFA delegation is in Nigeria, has as its theme, Playing for Good. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Similarly, the First Lady of Nigeria is optimistic that the Aisha Buhari Invitational Women Football Tournament, currently taking place in Lagos, would serve as a tool for promoting women empowerment, particularly in football and other sporting activities. This came to light when the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, paid a courtesy call on the First Lady in Abuja on the sidelines of the ongoing women football tournament organized by the First Lady's Foundation in collaboration with the Nigerian Football Federation. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports.
The advocacy of the Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari of empowering women and youth has remained a vehicle for engaging them into gainful ventures to support themselves and their families towards complementing government efforts. This time, the First Lady has resolved to get involved in football as a unifying agent to reach into the target. Receiving the FIFA president Gianni Infantino, who was accompanied by the CAF president Patrice Motsepe and other members of the Football Global Organizations, the First Lady said this initiative will serve as an instrument of empowering women to break a barrier and creating a path to attain to their full potentials.
I believe that through football, we have an opportunity to influence behavior and increase positive attitudes towards gender equality and development. The girls that choose football as career have escaped poverty and will surely make a success out of life. The benefit of their choice will surely cascade from the players to the coaches, administrators, officials, and family members to the society.
The FIFA president has commended the First Lady for her support towards the sport development and all endeavors in Nigeria and across the globe, particularly issues affecting women, youth, and children.
So to be the mother of the nation is a big responsibility, and you take this responsibility in a very, very, very beautiful way forward, inspiring all women and also all men, all boys and all girls of this country in an incredible way. This competition, which is just a symbol of what we can do, the ABC of the symbols, the Aisha Buhari Cup. And it's a first step of many more activities that we can do here.
The First Lady reaffirmed that she will not relent in her advocacy onto the challenges facing the girl, child, and women in Nigeria and on the continent are identified and addressed. From the State House, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
Meanwhile, with the regrassing of the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, FIFA President Gianni Infantino is optimistic that the stadium will presently come alive with international matches. He stated this while inspecting the facility as part of his official visit to Nigeria.
It's also not just about African football, it's about global football. So we are working together to see what kind of new opportunities, new competitions, new events we can bring for men and women to fill this stadium and to make the heart of the stadium beat for a fantastic spectacle that all of Nigeria loves, which is football.
Encouraging more women football competitions will make young girls to develop from talent to stardom. This was the summation of football enthusiasts as the Aisha Buhari Cup enters day 2 with Morocco defeating Cameroon. Samuel Johnson reports.
The soccer enthusiasts say the momentum gathered by female soccer in the African continent is becoming high, and public as well as private organizations should give necessary support to sustain it through regular competitions.
We need more competitions like this. If you don't have competitions, there's no growth, which is what Africa is lacking. Africa lacks taking advantage of FIFA windows. We have been lacking in that for such a long time. And now we are taking the initiative as the pioneers of the women's game.
It was a battle of the Lionesses as Morocco and Cameroon's female national teams take to the pitch today, with the Moroccans having the upper hand at the end of the 90-minute regulation time. Ghana and South Africa will take their turn tomorrow in the Aisha Buhari Cup Six Nation Invitational Tournament. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
And away from sports now, leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, are meeting in Accra, Ghana, for a summit on the political situation in Guinea and Mali. Uche Ogochukwu reports that Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is representing President Muhammadu Buhari at the summit.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, representing President Muhammadu Buhari, led Nigeria's delegation to the meeting. Nigeria had already condemned the coup and called on the ECOWAS and the African Union to take measured steps that will block toppling of democratically elected leaders on the continent.
We will receive also a report from the mediator of the Malian crisis, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on developments in Mali.
The military rulers are not invited for the Accra summit. They are in the meantime consulting with political, religious and business leaders towards the formation of a transitional government. The coup leader, Colonel Mamadi Dambuya, urged the civil society groups not to repeat the errors of the past when building a new system of governance. Uche Ogochukwu, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Health and related agencies to step up efforts to arrest the spread of cholera in Jigawa State and other parts of the country. National Assembly correspondent Lamiale reports that the House, during plenary Thursday, expressed worry over the death toll recorded since the outbreak of the disease.
Representative Abubakar Maki raised the issue in a motion noting the devastation of the disease since its outbreak in Jigawa State.
Within 1 month of the cholera outbreak, the state has recorded over 2,000 cases of the disease and over 30 deaths, those causing financial burden on the state government, as all its resources have been channeled to address the disease.
The House called for coordinated response to the outbreak in all affected states of the country. Other motions adopted include the need for security agencies to do more to prevent further attacks on communities in Adamawa and Delta states.
Killing and destroying people's farms. Recently, over 70 farms were destroyed. The crops cut down totally.
At the moment, people of the affected communities can no longer go to farm as usual and have to pay vigilante groups to escort them to farm on specific announced dates.
Also adopted was the motion from Representative Shatima Ali urging electricity connection through the national grid to Yunusari in Yobe State.
Kanama is the only local government headquarters among the 17 local government headquarters in Yobe State that is not connected to the national grid.
Meanwhile, the House, in response to a motion raised by Representative Uyimeidem, urged the federal government to comply with the principle of federal character in appointments.
Chief Commissioner of the Public Complaints Commission and Secretary of the Commission are from the same part of the country.
At the commencement of plenary, the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, urged journalists to desist from what he described as yellow and uninspiring journalism, which thrives on mischief.
Ordinarily, I would not bother to rebut, if not for the fact that my thoughts sometimes there's a more airy agenda when people are falsely and intentionally misquoted.
He was reacting to reports from some media that misquoted his welcome address from recess to House members delivered at plenary Wednesday. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And away from the National Assembly, late Malam Wada Maida, one-time managing director and immediate past board chairman of the News Agency of Nigeria, has been described as one of the finest journalists Nigeria produced. These eulogies were contained in remarks made by dignitaries at the naming of the corporate headquarters of the News Agency of Nigeria after the late Wada Maida. Anthony Forson reports.
Born in 1950, Wada Maida, from records, cut his teeth as a young journalist when he had a stint with the new Nigerian newspapers as a reporter. And as his career accelerated, he joined News Agency of Nigeria as one of the agency's pioneer staff. Rising through the ranks, he rose to become editor-in-chief and managing director of the agency with a vision to reposition the organization. He was later appointed chairman of the News Agency of Nigeria. In recognition of his immense contribution to the growth of the organization, the agency, with the approval of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, non-headquarters will henceforth be known as non-headquarters Wada Maida House. Dignitaries at the occasion were full of eulogies for late Wada Maida.
Malam Wada's brand of journalism was developmental. He believed that journalism served a higher purpose, which includes ensuring the development, peace, and unity of a nation.
Malam Wada Maida was a nationalist and was also somebody who cares very much about the community he comes from.
He was a mentor, he was a guardian, he was a friend, for all of the years.
Through good character, hard work, and sound morals, the former managing director of the News Agency of Nigeria built a global reputation for himself, as well as set a high standard in developmental journalism.
An illustrious son who lived, stuck to, and died for the development of news agency journalism in Nigeria, as well as the promotion of responsible journalism dripping in positive reportage.
He departed this world at a time when the journalism profession is facing humongous challenges. Misinformation, fake news, disinformation, information epidemic, with all manner of people professing to be journalists where and when not even the slightest bit of the profession is in them.
Aminu Maida, who responded on behalf of the family, was full of gratitude for the honor done to the family. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Thank you for staying. The Southern Governors Forum has risen from its meeting in Enugu, restating commitment to fiscal federalism and satisfaction with member states in the implementation of decisions earlier taken by the forum. Susan Eze reports that the communique issued at the end of the meeting was read by the chairman of the forum and Governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu.
It was the third meeting of the Southern Governors Forum hosted by Enugu State, where 16 out of the 17 members attended. After about 5 hours, the governors emerged from the closed-door meeting, and the chairman of the forum, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, read the communique.
The meeting resolved to support the position that the collection of VAT falls within the powers of the state.
The meeting also reiterated its positions on open grazing and zoning of the presidency to the region in 2023. The governors expressed their satisfaction with the issues around the Petroleum Industry Act and the ownership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, by the larger Nigeria Governors Forum. The forum is also seeking to use the regional security outfits to share intelligence to enhance security in the region. Appreciating the host governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, the forum announced Rivers State as the venue of their next meeting in November 2021. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Igbonine Social Cultural Organization has called on government and leadership at all levels to come together to prefer solutions to security challenges in the southeastern part of the country, occasioned by the sit-at-home order allegedly issued by the leadership of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. This was at a media conference in Abuja. Kenneth Nanim reports.
The Socio-Cultural Organization has come out to condemn the sit-at-home order, the killing of a clergy and disruption of ongoing West African Examination Council WAEC in some schools. The group says is criminal, as the economy of the area and the country in general are being crippled.
We cannot continue on this voyage of self-destruction.
Describing President Buhari's engagement with the leadership of Ndibo during his visit to Imo State as a step in the right direction for a new beginning in the zone, the organization urged relevant authorities to work in synergy to end these anomalies and return peace, unity and progress in the country.
Igbonine is constrained to call the attention of our brothers and sisters who are giving overt, covert support to the misguided youth. We are ready to offer ideas towards solutions to these nation-threatening problems.
The organization also expressed its readiness to collaborate with other ethnic nationalities to bring about the greatest good and happiness for all, instead of fanning the ember of secession. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
In other news, the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, is partnering Nigeria's Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development on a best support structure for refugees and internally displaced persons in the country. Elizabeth Omori brings us details.
In the proactive steps by state governments to evacuate Nigerian refugees in neighboring countries, the federal government is equally making more commitments for their reintegration and rehabilitation. Among the pragmatic steps is this engagement between the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to map out strategies to build capacity for local actors on humanitarian interventions.
Some of them wanted to have more assistance for livelihood. Others stressed the importance of education, of health, access to health. So clearly they need to have quite a bit of support.
To address the gaps in refugee management and recovery process, the Minister, Sadiya Umar Farouk, in a message to the delegation, noted that homegrown models and other humanitarian interventions must be strengthened.
The Ministry, in collaboration with relevant organizations, has launched a homegrown strategy, which is the Humanitarian Peace Development Framework, aligned with global best practices.
The ministry pledged to continue liaising with development partners through effective coordination and intervention programs. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The reconstituted National Honors Award Committee has been inaugurated. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Senator George Akume, charged members to ensure that only deserving Nigerians and friends of Nigeria are selected for national honors. Mitari Ikme reports.
The National Honors Award Committee has 11 eminent Nigerians selected from the public and private sectors as members. Their mandate is to assist Mr. President screen and recommend nominees for the National Honors Award using criteria which include patriotism, loyalty, bravery, gallantry, and excellence.
Your work demands thorough and painstaking screening and selection, devoid of any parochial sentiments. Select those who deserve the honors following their outstanding contributions to Nigeria's development.
The Emir of Lafia, retired Justice Sidi Bagay Muhammad, is chairman of the National Honors Award Committee.
If for a period of 6 years, Mr. President has not done this honor, and this time around he has decided to do it, he's expecting nothing less than the best from us. We will work together as a team and try as much as we can to meet with the expectations of Mr. President.
The committee has a short time to conclude its task as the National Honours Award investiture ceremony is being planned to be part of Nigeria's 61st Independence Anniversary celebration. In Abuja, Ienre, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the federal government has launched a set of multiple new identity solutions products that will ensure safe enrollment of persons, particularly in the pandemic era. This was at the 2021 National Identity Day commemoration in Abuja, with the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy representing the President. Victor Azu reports.
Nigerians are gradually coming to terms with the importance of the national identity number, but there's more. This gathering in commemoration of the third National Identity Day brings to fore the place of identity as a tool for sustainable digital economy and national security. So far, more than 63 million Nigerians have been enrolled, yet NIMSI is evolving new solutions to make it easy for more Nigerians to link in with SIM cards, especially in this pandemic era.
It will increase the confidentiality and privacy of your number significantly because it allows you to do many activities online without going anywhere physically.
To capture people without touching anything in line with the COVID rule. So that was why we go back and into a drawing table and come up with a contactless biometric system.
The tokenization solution is another new one. It aids the use of mobile phones to achieve NIN-SIM link while ensuring privacy and data security.
The tokenization solution is in line with the efforts of the federal government to enhance data privacy and data security of citizens and legal residents.
All of these explain continued advocacy by the Director General, National Identity Management Commission, for all Nigerians to get enrolled.
A nation cannot truly integrate unless it has a unique way of identifying its own people.
And identifying the people, he says, must begin with birth registration and extend to issuance of a unique identifier through a national identification system. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Let's join Hingino in Lagos for more reports. Hingino, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ienre. A comprehensive and robust legislative framework on the beneficial ownership register has been described as panacea in the fight against corruption and money laundering in Nigeria. Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center stated this at a media briefing on anti-corruption potential of the beneficial ownership register in Lagos. Ruth Ario Samuel reports.
Beneficial owners are individuals who directly or indirectly own or control 25% or more of a corporation or an entity other than corporation. Nigeria is set to be among countries in the world taking bold steps towards the use of public beneficial ownership register as a critical policy-making tool in the fight against corruption. To this end, Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Ibrahim Musa, told newsmen that the establishment of such a center will assist in tracking monies linked to tax evasion, corruption, drug trafficking, money laundering, and terrorism financing.
It is important that as government is determined to fight corruption, that we have the identity of many companies, especially in the oil and gas sector, and other, construction, companies, as well as many other, sector that they establish in order just to shortchange the country economically.
The Corporate Affairs Commission, saddled with the responsibility of companies' registration, believes that the implementation and enforcement of the beneficial ownership register will to a large extent halt criminal activities in the registration of companies.
We are taking the register to the next level where we'll make it in open data format that will allow you to query the register to aggregate to know if somebody is a multiple beneficial owner in different companies.
Government is therefore making plans to raise awareness about the register and train people to use it. It is expected that the move will discourage people from presenting anonymous companies in Lagos. Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
It's now time for another break. The news will be back with.
Glad to have you back. News reaching us has confirmed that the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrasheed Bawa, is ill and hearty. This clarification became necessary following an incident earlier today at the presidential villa, Abuja, where Bawa was seen to have swayed slightly while delivering a goodwill message to the National Identity Day celebration and had to return to his seat after having felt unwell. A statement by the head of Media and Publicity, EFCC, Wilson Wujarin, says the chairman has since received medical attention and has returned to work. Yobe State government has confirmed that 9 people were killed, with 23 others sustaining varying degrees of injuries after an accidental military airstrike hit Buhari community in Yunusari local government area of the state. The Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Mohammed Goji, disclosed this to newsmen shortly after visiting the victims in Gaidam town. Adam Yusuf Ali reports.
The accidental military airstrike occurred in the early hours of Wednesday in Buhari community of Unisari local government area, in which 9 people were killed and 23 others injured, as confirmed by the Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Mohammed Goji.
Unfortunately, we lost four young children and 5 adults. So presently, SEMA is on ground. We are putting up the required bills for the medical attention. And secondly, knowing fully that the communities are agrarian communities that always go to farm before they come and put food on their table, we provided immediate food support to the houses there.
Meanwhile, Governor Malabuni has commiserated with families of those who lost their lives in the unfortunate airstrike, assuring that government will work closely with security forces, especially the Nigerian Air Force, to establish what actually happened. The governor said, although it could have been an accident or mistaken target, but government will join hands with security agencies to unravel the root cause of the accident, even as he directed his special advisor on security matters, Brigadier General Dahiru Abdisalam, retired, to liaise with the Nigerian Air Force and the Multinational Joint Task Force to look into the unfortunate airstrike. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force has commenced investigations into the airstrikes which allegedly harmed civilians in Buhari village, Yunusari, Yobe State. The incident occurred during an air mission against terrorists in the region on the 15th of September 2021. Confirming the commencement of investigations in a press release, NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Edward Gapwet, gave assurance of full investigations while also reiterating the commitment of the Nigerian Air Force to ensuring the safety of lives and property. News of the incident first broke on social media, followed by a press release by Yobe State government commiserating with the injured and promising to cooperate with security forces to unravel what really happened. Suspected killers of Abdul Karim Bala Ibn Naala, eldest son of Senator Bala Ibn Naala of Kebbi South Senatorial Zone, has been arrested by the Kaduna State Police Command. Haruna Mohammed reports.
2 prime suspects involved in the murder of Captain Abdul Karim Bala Ibn Naala are among those arrested by the police. The mastermind and late Abdul Karim's neighbor Usman Dankano, popularly known as Dankano, is at large.
The suspects have confessed to have carried out the offense and further stated that the vehicle have been sold in Niger Republic at the rate of 1 million naira.
In a similar vein, the police, reacting to distress call, dispatched operatives of Operation Puff Adder to Kasamari village along Abuja-Kaduna Highway, where they neutralized one of the suspected kidnappers. The suspects, in their numbers, had attacked motorists at the early hours of Thursday, killing a commercial bus driver and his conductor. 41-year-old Usman Abakar from Zamfara State, an active partaker in the Bethel Catholic School kidnap, College of Forestry, and Greenfield University, has also been arrested. The police urge members of the public to report suspicious movement or characters to the security operatives for prompt action. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
In other news, the management and staff of Hawthorne Suites have given a facelift to City of Refuge Orphanage as part of activities marking their annual housekeeping week. Ngozi Silva, Technical reports.
For the management of Hawthorne, giving back to the society and putting smiles on the faces of the downtrodden is a culture. And the activities going on here at the City of Refuge Orphanage Home affirms that.
We are part of the community help for each year. This year, we took in charge this orphanage to make the children happy and to be part of our celebration, because our celebration is more that helping people, helping and helping the community.
In this critical time that we know everybody is suffering, so it's just like greatest thing you can do, and which is what we think we should also offer, like a helping hand to people we can help.
Painting, cleaning of different apartments, including repairs, were carried out.
So we are just trying to renovate. Even for them, they will look happy. They will see something they have. This is the main thing for us.
We are saying thank you for the love they have for us. Thank you for all of you people that came. We don't have anything to give you, and we don't have anything to say, but we are saying the good Lord will bless you all richly in Jesus' name.
Different items to assist in the day-to-day running of the orphanage were handed over to the excited children. For the general manager, Hawthorne Suites, such philanthropic outings will be more regular. Ngozi Silva, Technical, NTA News.
Heading to the courtroom now, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved a ruling on the application filed by the Lagos State government seeking to be joined as an interested party in an appeal filed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, challenging the judgment of the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, which had ordered the Rivers State government to collect the value-added tax. Judiciary correspondent Ienre has more.
The Court of Appeal had ordered Rivers and Lagos State governments to stay action on their bid to collect value-added tax VAT, pending the resolution of the legal dispute on the matter. Following the order, the Attorney General of Lagos State, Moyesere Onibanjo SAN, applied to be joined as an interested party. He told the court that the application was essentially seeking leave for Lagos State to be joined as respondent in the appeal, as the Constitution empowers states as federating units to collect taxes. He further contended that the joint application seeks to avoid multiplicity of suits, since Lagos State already has a law empowering it to collect VAT. Counsel to Rivers State, Ifedaya Adedipe SAN, aligned himself with the submission of the Lagos AG. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice as respondent, represented by Tijani Ghazali SAN, opposition to the joint application was rejected as being incompetent.
Not discharge its duties effectively and efficiently. We wait for the direction from the courts. If there's an application, we'll have the right to respond to.
Appellate Counsel Mahmood Magaji SAN urged the court not to join Lagos State government in the appeal. Justice Haruna Tsunami, who presided over the three-man panel of the appellate court, reserved ruling after parties have argued their joint application filed by the Attorney General of Lagos State. In Abuja, Ienre, NTA News.
Ahead of the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, is intensifying collaboration with the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, PTDF, to deepen institutional capacities and technological enablers for the growth of the nation's oil and gas sector. This was the crux of a one-day stakeholders meeting between the two agencies in Abuja. Unika Oko reports.
Over 2 decades in the making, the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, has become law and establishes a new reality for Nigeria's oil and gas industry. The Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, stands out as the arrowhead with regards to regulating and monitoring oil and gas activities in Nigeria in order to ensure standards, compliance, and best international industry practices. The DPR is taking it further by metamorphosing into a business enabler. Thus, they believe that collaboration with the PTDF and other key players is critical to realizing its lofty objectives.
This industry requires capacity and skill for value to be created. Without capacity and skill, the industry will never go anywhere.
The two agencies also used the occasion to review successes of past collaborations and agree on a clear mandate of actions to move the industry forward.
Where we're heading to now, our plans are, look, where is the industry heading? What will be the requirements of the industry 5, 10 years ahead? And you can only do that if you have access to the plans of the operators of the industry.
The PTDF boss, who is also the chairman implementation committee of the PIA, thereafter presented a gazetted copy of the PIA to his DPR counterpart. In Abuja, Neka Oku, NTA News.
And that concludes Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching. Please remember, the fight against rape and rape